are so glad that everyone is here, especially to recognize our awardees, and we will be introducing them later on. Just in case you didn't know, my name is Melissa Arnold. I am the coalition chairperson, or the coalition coordinator.
And hello, everyone. My name is Ruth Alpino. I'm the Drug-Free Communities Coordinator, and I help run the coalition with Melissa.
So we kind of just finish each other's sentences. So I hope you guys get used to it as much as we have already. So we are so proud of the Prevention Coalition in Mercer County. For those of you who don't know, it was established in 2011. So we are going on our 11th year. We have had, thank you. Some of you have been here since the jump, and we really appreciate that. I myself joined in 2017. So I have big shoes to fill. Many of you probably knew Barbara Spreckman. She's the one who got it off the ground and got it all running, and then she retired, and she's perfectly happy being in retirement. Of course, she's
in her RV.
In her RV with her grandchild, and of course, knowing you all know her, she's already with the Municipal Alliance and a couple other places, so she's already volunteering in the field already. In our booklet, some of you may have picked that up. We have
it looks like this in case anybody doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's at the front over there. Sorry, give me a second. We're trying to accommodate many.
We wanted to show you on the back of that program, there are several QR codes. One of those goes to our blog. Another one goes to the Prevention Coalition interest form. If you are not officially part of the mailing list before today, please get on that. Please join us. It's painless, we promise. We will ask you to help with our community programs. We'll ask you to be an eye and a voice for your community, for what you're seeing, for what your concerns are. And then we might put you to work, but we promise it won't be too painful. And we're usually very kind and smiling most of the time. And we try to have good snacks when we have live meetings. So our mission is to contribute to a healthier and safer community. And all of you are active in many roles that help make that possible. And that is one of the things that we definitely wanted to recognize. I see so many of our members. We have people that are working in the high schools. We have people who are working in colleges. We have people who are working in policy to try to make changes. We have, we have businesses that saw a need and they filled it. We have our health officers, we have our public leaders, we have volunteers that are just going out of their way when they see something and they decide to call a prevention coalition out of the blue and say, hey, I saw this happening and I'm concerned about this and I really want to change it. We have our faith-based leaders who are there, who are the first, who are arguably the front lines, who help hold hands and heal broken hearts. And they understand the role that substance use can have in hurting a family. And they try to fix that and try to connect to resources. And we're so thankful for all of you and all of the hard work you do. So let's just take a second. Everybody just clap for your neighbor. If you can't clap for yourself, clap for your neighbor. There you go. I was trying to get out of its way.
Also, just as a side note, the coalition is run by the 12 sectors. If you look up CADCAS.org, you can actually find the 12 sectors that are included in our coalition. More than anything, we are striving to include as many communities as possible. So if you find a disparity or you find any sort of discrepancies in the communities we are involved with, just let us know and we'll make sure that we have them at the table, because I've noticed, especially we could have more immigration, we could have more faith-based communities, we can always have more, right? And so I would like that to be a part of the conversation as well. So thank you everyone who has been striving to do that. We're going to be starting our introductions to our new executive director, Margarita Lee. I'm so sorry, Leahy. I always say Lehigh. I don't know why. My apologies. But yes, Margaret. what you understand. So our new executive director, thank you so much, Ian. I really appreciate it. She is wonderful, and we are so excited to have her with all the experience that she took on a huge responsibility by taking in our court and our family, but also understanding that this is a mission that we have for the community and our county, and she does it with a full heart, and we really appreciate that. So thank you so much, Margarita. And she's going to be introducing our Geeta Arumahan Scholarship winner, and she will be explaining that as we move forward.
Good morning, prevention members, honorees, guests, and colleagues. Welcome to our yearly breakfast. It's great to be able to hold this ceremony in person. Actually, it's so fun to see everyone. Yes, thank you, Eric. My name is Margarita Leahy. I'm the new executive director of Mercer Council, and I am so excited to be here. My staff is amazing. I love them. And if you forget what this space looks like and you come back to the building, just look for the very confused, bewildered woman being led around by her staff. But before we get to the celebration of the awards this morning, I want to talk a little bit about the Geeta Arumahan Scholarship Award. The scholarship was set up in honor of one of our most dynamic executive directors that has created a stable foundation for all of us to continue this work. And so it was created so that we could support others that might in the future come into this type of work in our community and make improvements in our community. So we're very excited to have this fund. So this year, I'm going to introduce a few of the community applicants. We had a really great pool, by the way. It was awesome from just different areas. So we have Erica Menz, who is currently majoring in public health at TCNJ. I promise I'm not the one who funneled all the TCNJ people here, but I'm thrilled. I'm excited. We have Austin Hill, who is currently a senior from Ewing High School, and he's interested in becoming a clinical psychologist. We have Brian McChrystal, who is a graduate student of TCNJ's Clinical Mental Health Counseling Program. Some of you might know him, maybe, seen him on campus, for those recent graduates. We have Darren Clark, who's attending Rider University and hopes to make a positive impact on the city of Trenton, our neighbor, which is great. And we have Shakira Patterson, who is a Ewing High School graduate, also looking to make a difference and has had experience herself with adverse childhood experiences. And then we have Zainab Iqbal, a senior at Nottingham High School that is interested in pursuing a degree in forensic psychology. So again, like I said, it was really competitive. It was tough to do this work, but I want to thank my Mercer Council folks who helped out, our board members who were kind enough to jump on really quickly and help me out with this process. So I want to recognize Deborah Dunn, Chief Grant, Adrian Petta, Dayron Proctor, Shakita Johnson. They were great, especially because I gave them a very short, deadline. They were so lovely. So, and they were so compassionate in the way that they looked over the applications. So I'm thrilled. So Mercer Council would like to invite all of these applicants to contact any of us on staff just to have a discussion on prevention and early intervention. We would love for them to join the ranks in the future with us. Maybe some of them might be executive directors one day. Maybe some of them might be our intern when I start an intern program. Fingers crossed. So we hope that they'll take us up on that. So our Geeta Arumahan Scholarship Award goes to Zainab Iqbal. Ms. Iqbal is already involved in many things in the community. She's making a difference already in Mercer County as a member of the Helping Hands Foundation. She's also a member of the peer leadership at her Nottingham High School, and she does community service at the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen through her membership with the Young Muslims Trenton. Ms. Iqbal contacted me last night, around 10 o'clock, by the way, very responsibly to tell me I'm going to be in school tomorrow morning. And I was like, that makes sense. So I will be sharing all of our congratulations from the scholarship committee and from all of you. We're thrilled for her, and we are looking forward to getting updates from her. And I hope at some point we'll still get to meet her in person. And now our presentation of the volunteers.
Really quickly, I wanted to recognize that last year's winner, Gianna Anselmo, is here. Can you just wave to everyone? as you can see, she is actually here with TCNJ. She has been working with the CRC, alcohol and other drug support services, and I've been kind of checking up on her through the people that we know at TCNJ, and all of them knew her. All of them were so proud of all the work she's done, and so are we. So thank you for being here, and thank you for all the work that you've done in our community and are continuing to do. My personality is so electric. It's just causing feedback here. Yes, that's it. That's it.
I'm like afraid to like move to it senses my fear. All right, can you all hear me still? I just lowered the volume a little bit. All right, so we have if you are looking through the pamphlet that we had given together, we have our bios in there for the winners. It's actually in consecutive order, so whoever is going to be presented the award first or second will be first or second. So, you know, there you go. Look at me thinking ahead. More than anything, though, what I would like to say is that this award in particular is about shining a light on people who are stars in their own way. Would you like to expand on that?
Well, this year our awards have little stars on them, and as you can tell, we're kind of following that theme. But when I think about stars, I love constellations. I come from a long line of Star Wars and Star Trek nerds and space program fans. And you think about when you look up at the sky, you see those bright ones, you see those constellations, you see so many lights. Unfortunately, in our area, maybe not so much. But when I grew up in West Texas, that was all we had. We had the sky and wide open sky. But one thing about stars is that some of them shine brighter and get noticed and recognized, and some of them are a little bit dimmer, but they're still shining and they're still lighting up their area. And that's one of the reasons why we love this awards breakfast, because sometimes these might not be the ones that get all the recognition. Sometimes they are just shining their beautiful lights, and some people might not know of them. And we wanted to recognize some of those people today and encourage everyone to keep sharing the light and their positivity and their hope for a healthier community, and shining kindness, to be honest, because I've met with all of you and you're amazing. So anything that we can do to help others on their way.
Yes, and just as a closing to that metaphor, I would like to say more than anything that it's not that stars are dimmer, it's that they're more distant from us, so we can't see them as well because they're doing their own thing. And that's okay. So you can keep doing your own thing, and I promise we'll be watching out for you. And you will be recognized because we try to make sure that we recognize as many people as possible. So thank you. Our first award goes to Assembly Member Anthony Varelli. And we are very excited for this because Anthony Varelli has been in the game for a long time now. And we are so excited to have a public member here, a public servant that looks towards goodness and kindness in his policies and in his interactions with his constituents. So we have a bio. I don't know if y'all want me to read the 5 paragraphs here, but okay, cool. I will let you know, though, that more than anything else, we are so proud to recognize people who are part of our community, especially the people that serve the public. So thank you so much, Mr. Rose.
He has been active with addiction services. He's been active with legislation that has helped the addiction and recovery community, as well as help protecting our youth through several different initiatives. And he's also attended our International Overdose Awareness Day, and he has been an active and visual part of this fight, and we really appreciate that. And we wanted to present you with this prevention award for all that you've done for our community. Do you mind if we get a picture? Yeah. Would you like to take a minute?
Yeah, would you like to say anything?
Please.
All
I
right.
prepared all night. First, let me start out by saying good morning and thank you. My wife suggested that I get these glasses, not because I couldn't see without them, but she said it raises my IQ 50 points. I'd like to see the audience I'm addressing. It's an honor and a privilege to receive this award. The state legislator. Did I have that as a plan growing up, even at 20, 25, 30? No. It happened by showing up. And that's what the Prevention Coalition does. It shows up in many venues and helps people, which in turn helps families and helps the entire community, no matter what they're doing, whether they're helping with addiction services, getting people access to mental health care that they need, just having conversations and being there. Let's say, I know a guy was 24 years old, right? Couldn't balance a checkbook. Really, what the true story was, he didn't have a checkbook. Okay, so we got to get like really honest about it. So fast forward 30 something years to almost 34 years later, he's looking at $68 billion budgets and making decisions that impact working people, working men and women, people that have issues, that they can get the support that they need from places like Mercer Council, Prevention Coalition. It's a good thing, I'm grateful to be a part of this. I've always been a part of this, and I always like to fly under the radar, like real under the radar. And to get awards like this or recognition kind of spooks me out a little bit. I got a little ADHD going on, and everything's like spinning, and I had great remarks prepared. Like, crap, I told my whole story 3 times last night, twice this morning. But I'm grateful to have the opportunity to serve. And that's what it comes down to. It's putting stigmas, stereotypes to the side and realize we got to start talking about real issues that affect us as individuals, our families, and where we live in our communities. By making one person better, they told me, I heard somewhere that they said, you know what, circumstances around you might not get better if you choose a path of recovery, but we can promise you that the individual will get better. And by that individual getting better and healthy, that allows him to have a better, healthy family, be able to go to work, be able to be there for people that need him. I'm not crying. My eyes always water when I share. So you believe what you want. I have a lot of friends out here that have supported me over the years, and I try not to forget any of them. But the work that you do is God's work, and it's reflected. If we could put like a ledger up to see the people that groups like this, organizations like this help, it would be difficult. And the way I look at it is, when you see somebody after, you provide a pathway for treatment or recovery or to deal with anything they got going on, a week, a month, a year, 10, 20 years later, and you don't remember that person, the conversation you had or what you did, and they come up to you and they say, thank you for that minute you gave me or whatever you did to help me. That's what it's all about. Not what we have in a driveway or what's in our house or in our bank account. It's the people that we touch along the way that really makes an impact for me and makes a difference. So I can do what I do, but it started by showing up, suiting up, showing up, not always in a suit and tie, but just going to work every day and doing the groundwork that's necessary. I mean, I could talk for 3 hours. I didn't even start what I was going to say. But anyway, but with that being said, now this is really an honor and it's a privilege to be here. I've received a few different recognitions over the course of my career and what I did before I came to the legislature. And this is probably one of the best and the highest because I feel it here. I'm grateful. Thank you.
See, we pick good ones, don't we? And now I'm very excited to present an award to my friend John Ryan. John Ryan is currently the mayor of Lawrenceville. For those of you who haven't met him, I don't understand how that's possible. John and I, we became really close friends last year when Lawrenceville hosted the International Overdose Awareness Day, and you can see my municipal alliance buddies are all excited because we're such a team here. And I realized shortly that John Ryan and I are cut from very similar cloth. We like to talk, we like to meet people, and he likes to serve. And that's where the censor is. The censor's down there. Okay. I do leaps and bounds when I'm here alone. So John Ryan has a history of serving. When I met him, he was on the town council, and as I said, now he is mayor. This is something he is very passionate about. He wants to improve lives. The bio is in there. He has accomplished a lot of things. One of those wonderful things is that his beautiful wife, Linda, has been by his side for over 30 years. She works at the high school, so I've been able to develop a relationship with her over this last year as well. And I love to see them working together as one. He describes himself as an old surfer dude, and he's so much more than that. So without further ado, John Ryan. Can we get a picture? All right. You want to take a few minutes?
No, not even. I just, honestly, I am. Thank you for having me. I just have the same thing as Assembly Morale, and I've known Anthony. Gosh, he is such a good man. Speaks from the heart. I just wrote down who to thank, and I just go from the heart also. I'd like to thank the Prevention Coalition of Mercer County, Melissa Arnott, and her amazing staff for all their hard work and their very important work. And for this award, I am truly humbled and honored. And that's it. Wait. So want to say that we started off with Carol King in the back. And I was yes.
She's amazing.
And the former mayor appointed me to the Drug and Alcohol Committee, and I said, you know, I only have a glass of wine every once in a while. I thought there was a problem. So we got in, and my friend Melissa, it's like we are cut from the same cloth. With Barbara, wanted her through the prosecutor's office. We did an amazing event over at Central Park, and she said, and that was through the coordination of Carol. That was going through Public Works, the rec department, the police department, the prosecutor's office. Assembly Morelli was there. I put him on the spot. He didn't have anything. Do you want to speak? So we had this big event. It came out wonderful, and we're like family, and I cherish the friendship. And it's so important right now, the work that's going on now, especially with the COVID. People turn to different alternatives to cope with what's going on, whether it's violence, whether it's alcohol, whether it's the drugs. They cope in different ways. And this program is so important, and really appreciate all that you do. Thank you again. Do I owe you money?
No.
Do I owe you money?
Yeah, sure, you can always money. So it's truly a privilege to know these wonderful awardees so well. Our next one is not only a leader of a flock and a fantastic community advocate, but he's also my neighbor. And I shot my first crossbow because of Reverend Pastor Will, and it was such an interesting situation when he first moved into the neighborhood. I happened to meet him on a walk, and I could tell what a joy he was. Then I came to my first day of work here, and I met Lisa, and she was a wonderful, wonderful woman. And then that night we had National Night Out in Ewing, And both of them showed up together. I said, what are you doing here? She said, this is my husband. She said, this is my wife. And I'm like, what? It's so funny that our lives intertwine so much. Pastor Will has been such a huge support to everything that we do here, not just because of Lisa, and he is a great support to Lisa, but because he is passionate about meeting people where they are. I have helped some members of his congregation take a Narcan training. That was something that was very important to them. They have been instrumental in every single International Overdose Awareness Day. They are, one of their big priorities is the Memorial Circle. And Pastor Will has always been there to offer prayer and a kind word to those who have lost someone, who are worried about someone in their life. And we just felt it was long overdue to recognize my friend, Pastor Will. Kaufman. His last name is Kaufman. Sorry. Can we get a picture of presenters?
We had the biography, and working with people with issues has been a long time thing. I've got 25 years of ministry, but the most unusual story about this is 35 years ago, I was a graduate from TCNJ, although back then it was Trenton State. And I used to drive past the church. 3 times a week, I'd drive past the church, but I wasn't Nazarene. I wasn't studying for ministry. Never in a million years did I thought I'd be a minister. Never in a billion years did I think I'd wind up at the church I used to drive past. But this problem transcends everywhere. And you can read the biography, and that'll tell you why I'm so adamant and forward about the Drug Overdose Awareness Day. But it is something that needs the treatment of the whole body. You know, many of us deal with the politic or the physical, the spiritual, but the truth is it's a holistic approach. And I appreciate all of you because each one of us takes care of a different part of the same human person. And I appreciate it. Thank you for the award. I have to tell you, when you said I was getting one, I was kind of going, why? Because the Overdose Awareness Day is near and dear to my heart. And if you read the biography, you'll understand why. But the truth is, I don't feel like I've done enough, and I don't feel like we can do enough because there's still people that are hurting. But until that day, we'll keep doing what we do. And I do thank you.
Absolutely. As drug prevention specialists, we want to work ourselves out of a job. We would love that more than anything. And I'm sure anybody in recovery and all of that would feel the same way. But as long as there's a need, we're going to be here. My last introduction is, as I said, I was like, Bruce, I want to prove them on. But is a wonderful a person. She often says she's not affiliated, but I think that's not true. She is an active and vibrant part of her Lawrenceville community and the community at large. I think I was on vacation and I came back and Barb said, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe this person who called us. She's a former nurse. She found all these programs online and she's feeling really, really motivated to be part of the solution. She works with this Heroin Spoon project and she's part of the League of Women Voters. And I was like, sign me up. And we got to know Ellen Mack, our next recipient, throughout the years. And during COVID, when she, obviously we were all worried about our health, she said, what can I do at home? And she put together start packets for us. I'd say at least 200 of the start packets that we had that the first responders asked for. She was there, she was doing them. She's been checking up on us. She emails us. Whenever she's inspired, we have a great discussion. And she just is such a wonderful light in our community. If any of you went to IOAD last year, she had this really cool statue. My daughter could not stay away. She wanted to talk to Ellen all night. And honestly, she's a fascinating, wonderful woman. So can you come on up, Ellen Mack?
This is not a normal thing for me. Well, I'll screw this up because this is not something that I do. This has been my basic whole life in the background. I was a registered nurse my entire professional life, got sick and couldn't do that anymore. But from birth, I have been surrounded by these adverse events in all of my family, all of their tendrils that go out into the community. Horrible suffering that goes on. I watched from elementary school on. I made the choice not to follow that path because I watched my whole family fall down that hole and did everything I could to help bring them back from the edge. So this is very, very much in my blood and in my heart. John was there the first night in Lawrencetown, if you weren't even on the council yet, when I was getting a resolution for knockout opioid abuse day. Because I walk around the mall with cards like that in my purse and hand them out and talk to people, because that's what it's about, and that's how you find these pockets of people that need somebody to say, are you okay? What can I do for you? It's okay, you can get better. And give a little hope. So that's how I spend my time with prevention and treatment, because people do get better and they stay better. They fall off the wagon, they get better again, but they need our support and they need somebody to stand by them and take their elbow and say, you can do this, because I believe you can do this. And we need to get our kids before that happens. And we need to get them where they are and how they understand it. Not me standing in front giving statistics or anybody necessarily doing things like that, like her daughter responded to the spoon. I work hard trying to find different organizations, art, drama, music, graffiti art, different things like that that would appeal to kids and get a message across. But I'm just a face in a crowd. People don't know who I am. This is not what I do for a living. You guys are the heroes. You guys do this every day and touch people's lives. And I am truly moved to be in the company of the people that are here. And I thank you for putting up with me and some of my craziness that goes on. But this is truly where my heart is. And this is what I'll fight every day for, because this is the life I've lived. And people say it's amazing that I didn't enter into that same world. But I did. I just chose not to sink into it. I still drag everyone that I can out, handing out Narcan, handing out fentanyl testing strips, pleading with people not to use alone. Use your same provider. Don't take drugs that you don't know where it came from. I mean, it sounds bad to do, but my goal is to keep people alive long enough to find recovery, because there has to be life to recover.
you so much.
Literally.
Thank you.
See, I told you we could pick them. And this last honoree is just as amazing.
Yes. So we'd like to honor the Chubby's Project, but before they come up, I would just like to say that Ellen, more than anything, displayed that you can do what you can, when you can, how you can. You pick a lane, you run with it, and you just choose kindness. And I think that's so important because basic human needs and basic human compassion are what we do here. Compassion is our politics. Compassion is our way. And I think more than anything else, that should be the forefront of any field, but that's just me. So we would like the Chubby's Project to come up. I do want to summarize what they have done because everyone's like, what's the Chubby's Project? First of all, they do great burgers. So there you go. And the eggs and the potatoes were provided by Chubby's. There you go. But the Chubby's Project, I remember like last week, myself and Melissa walked into the restaurant just to see what it was about and try the food and really understand the Chubby's Project in general. And I just remember going through all of the good stuff they provide for the community. And they walked me through their food cabinet. They walked me through, the restaurant. They walked me through the employabilities and the employees. And I was just touched by the kindness and the reserve and the I guess, humbleness of it all. You just sort of walk in and you're like, this is just a restaurant. But no, it's not. It is so much more. It is a host for good things. And it is a host for important things, and more than anything, they make sure to provide for their communities in a way that is so basic but so needed. And there's nothing necessarily basic about it. It is so complicated in the way that food insecurity exists. And so they provide food and as many services as possible to the disparities in Hopewell especially, and they are an asset to our community and our county. So Chubby's, if you would like to come up. We do have a picture here of Lynn. So you can come up. All of you can come up if you want, but it could just be Lynn as well. And y'all are a part of this. Y'all run it, y'all do it. And we appreciate it so much. Oh, yes.
All of you. Come on. Amanda. I'd like to talk to the manager. How about the hair? Yeah, Deborah. Yeah, Deborah, come on. Okay, yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Do the story squad if you can.
All right. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Just quickly, so Deborah helps run interfaith youth. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. I was just gonna point out who everybody was.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
Got it.
So I'm Lynn Ferrugia, and I inherited Aunt Chubby's Luncheonette in Hopewell. And we got it running 7 months before COVID hit, so I had to think of something new to do. And so we knew that people in town were hungry, they were needy, they were lonely, isolated. And so I decided to start a project that would help feed our neighbors. And by intentionally deciding to feed and sort of be with our neighbors who are alone, we started this project to really increase love and connection. And the way to do that was by connecting with other people in town, the Scouts, the Council of Churches, individuals, the school system, everybody we could think of was contributing to helping our neighbors. So we have now a few projects. We have lunches that get delivered 3 times a week by volunteers. Townsend, who's taking the pictures, is the head of that project. And we have
So we have between 140 and 180 meals that go out a week. And we have Tomatellos and Ontimos in town that contribute lunches as well. So by doing that, we help support the small businesses in town as well as our own. We have the Teen Collective, Deborah Jodry, please stand up. So because we wanted to provide a space for teens who during COVID, we know were isolated, alone, they didn't have school. And Deborah had started a collective for the adolescents in town who needed a place to be and who wanted to be together. And she has beautifully led them to service projects, to finding their own way, to providing leadership opportunities for these young people. And I couldn't be more proud of being able to provide a space for them to meet where they get to have milkshakes and fun every other week. We have educational programs. We have volunteers go into the school to talk about food justice, food insecurity, and how everybody can contribute to making the world a better place. And we are honored and delighted to be honored by you folks who we admire as well. And this idea of, pulling different various groups together to provide, really a true community safety net for people that we love. And we do it every day at Chubby's. Amanda is the manager at the restaurant, so she provides day-to-day service every day. She provides the connection from the project to the luncheonette. So it's this very tight web of people who are doing their best every day to make the community a happier, more loving, respectful place. And Michelle Downey is the administrator right now of the project. She works about 20 hours a week, keeping things going. And Liz Maziarz was the person that preceded Michelle who got us off the ground and running. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. So, people ask about some intersectionalities. We believe in something called protective factors and decreasing risk factors. And when you have an organization that is trying to enhance connection, we've often said this, connection is the opposite of addiction. It helps people know that they're valid, helps them know that they're not lost or forgotten. And that was something that just came to mind. I heard about the Chubby's Project on a municipal alliance meeting with the wonderful Heidi Kami back there. We heard about them, I think 8 months ago, or I can't remember, but their names kept popping up and like things affiliated with them just kept coming up. And I said, that name just keeps getting stuck in my head. And when we met with Lynn and all of the wonderful people last week, we started talking about the people that are coming to her and some of the needs that they have. So we talked about Narcan and how we could get Narcan to them, and just some different things. And I love the spirit of community where we have these different intersectionalities where we can help each other and wherever they are. And Ellen, you mentioned you said some of the weird things you do of, fentanyl testing strips and Narcan, and you're talking to them about a dialogue. Harm reduction is part of the process. We're trying to meet people where they are. We're trying to save lives because, as our former chairperson used to say, Justine Frank, she said, where there is life, there is hope. And I think we firmly believe that. And I think all of the awardees today have recognized just that. Where there is life, there is hope. And how can we make those lives better? And let's just give another round of applause to everybody. I just want to check. I did see some comments coming through here. We didn't want to forget you guys. Let's see. They said congrats. And this is IOAD from Dario. He said, so proud to be there and so proud of everyone here. A lot of accolades.
Yep.
Congratulations.
So just as a closing note on our award recipients part, just knowing that these people are ordinary in the way that they do their work. They are extraordinary in the way they exhibit it because service, leadership is service. So thank you so much. And we'll be, anybody have any closing thoughts or anything they would like to add to this at all? I don't. Yes, go ahead.
So last week when we met, we had a lovely luncheon time. And so I had never heard, despite growing up in Mercer County for a long time, I never heard of this. And last week, our conversation about prevention, like you always hear about kind of the, I don't know, the after. And so when we were talking about providing safe spaces and food and how that contributes to the prevention factor when you feel loved and cared for in terms of food and community and needs, that really resonated with me, that prevention is the key. Like, so I when I was a teacher, I always looked at behavioral things, and you want to be on the fire, like in terms of behavior, you want to be on the fire prevention side, not the firefighter side, right? And so that conversation we had last week really resonated with me, that we want to be on the prevention side. Mostly, yes, we're going to have to put out fires eventually, but on some level, but you want your firefighter. So thank you. That really resonated with me last week. So.
And also noting that prevention is obviously protective factors for providing spaces. So cross intersectionalism between, especially because it's Pride Month, LGBTQIA youth who are 40% more likely to use substances. It's understanding, different communities that have the facets facing them and making sure that those risk factors don't become risk factors, or we can have protective factors that outweigh those as well. So thank you so much.
So now is the time where we do what we do best, and that is to talk about what each of our members are doing. For us, for the PCMC, our next big events are the National Night Out, which is the first Tuesday in August. We will be trying to have a presence in every township. If you would like to help man a table on behalf of the Prevention Coalition and Mercer Council, please reach out to me or to Ruth, and we will set you up with a kit. We'll tell you everything that you need to do, and we'll give you all the good things, including goodies like you have in front of you right now. We are
not even the best stuff.
We are known. We're known for our good goodies. Okay. I think it's funny. A longtime member was looking at our mug, going, "Man, you guys really upped the game." I was like, "Really? Did we? Come on now. We're good for it. We're good for it." And then we have the International Overdose Awareness Day happening at the end of August. We're still working with the prosecutor's office on that. We believe it's going to be in Ewing. It might be in Lawrence if Ewing doesn't come through. But International Overdose Awareness Day, it will probably be the last Tuesday of the month of August. It's usually hotter than health permits, but we try to make it a good experience all around. To me, it's almost a sacred experience to be there. You feel your loved ones, and you feel the hope and the yearning that people have to make the world a better place.
You're gonna cry, but it's gonna be great.
Yes. We do have some programming. Ruth will talk about that.
I'm super excited. We will be partnering with the Bayer Busting Center. We are actually going to be talking to Carol Watchler, who is going to be talking about the intersectionality of LGBTQIA youth and drug usage. The program is through Zoom, and we'll be sending out a link very soon. It is on June 24th at 12 p.m. And I'm very excited. So if you can't make it, it will also be recorded. So don't worry, you'll always have evidence that it was a program that existed at one point. So thank you so much. What are sorry. Okay, so I also run a program called Empowering Youth. It is something that has sort of taken shape in a lot of different ways. It's a Zoom series. It's technically a webinar. You can come join in, ask questions. It is monthly. It's the last Thursday of every month. Heidi has been a great supporter of it ever since. Thank you so much. And I talk about anything that affects youth in any sort of way. I did water and how it affects youth. I've done LGBTQIA youth. I've done First Nation youth, myths and realities. So there's a plethora of stuff on the YouTube channel if you would like to just sort of click through, see what applies to you. And there are a bunch of resources through there that you can go through as you're watching my program. So thank you so much. Anything else?
So we'd like to turn the time over to y'all, and if you're online and you have something, if you have a member event coming up, if there's volunteers that you need,
you're welcome to announce that. John Ryan did mention Sunday at noon here at Captain Paul's, right here, right behind us. They are collecting non-perishable food. This is for a Home Front, which is another fabulous organization. He says that they're going to have motorcyclists.
It's my old Teamsters, which are UPS. I drove tractor trailer for a living. And what they did, they called me up and they have about 40 motorcycles coming in. UPS is donating a truck. There'll be food following the motorcycles, and we're giving the Lawrence Township Police Department, giving them an escort from Princeton right into Captain Paul. So on Sunday at 12, come over, non-perishable food, and everything goes right to local Home Front.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
So,
Stand up,
Yeah.
come to the mic,
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever feels good.
something to be aware of. So I think earlier last month, a long time place that I was on 33, the Family Fun Hobby Store, recently moved right over there. They do a lot of wonderful things. I talked to the owner and they would like to get more involved in the community, but they do on Friday, I know on Saturday nights they do family game nights. Something to encourage people to go to. And on Sunday they do Pokemon, and on Monday and Tuesday they have D&D. And they have lots of stuff there. And they also have their, because it's a much bigger store, they have their tables and stuff. And something I asked Jordan about is they're always looking to collaborate. People can use their location for events and things. You just have to work with them. But we talk about things to do. That store is almost, you can think about hobbies, they probably have it there and things. So it's a good resource for the community to direct families and youth to do.
Great
So for that
idea.
story.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, thank you. Great idea. As I said, those protective factors, getting involved in a hobby, doing something together with your children, games, like any kind of those connection points. Thank you, Ian. Great idea. We will definitely reach out. Other things going on? I know summer, we're trying to wind down. Yes, Eric.
I'll share. I've worked with the College of New Jersey. This month, actually next week, we're hosting our yearly Peer Institute. So what Peer Institute is, colleges from this local area come to the college, and these peer educators, students who educate their other students on campuses, gain a whole bunch of knowledge and are trained on how to give that knowledge and empower their peers. So talk about all sorts of wellness initiatives and whatnot. So that will be happening. Not that y'all can get involved, but it's something great that TCNJ is doing for the community and for students on campus.
We've actually supported it for over a decade.
I went there for 5 years.
And I am a peer counselor. I took the training myself and it was fantastic.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, we love it and we would love to support it anyway. So if there's something you think of, just let me know. We would love to be part of that. That's a great tradition to keep. Yes, Angela.
So it's nice to finally meet everybody in person. I am Angela Campos. I am the prevention educator here at Mercer Council. And so I am gratefully grant funded to do life skills trainings with middle school and high school students. So if you know any young people that could use some life skills, I would happily show up and build their toolboxes. I also am grant funded to do presentations for parents, and I would love to support your families in any capacity that I can. But I feel like I've met most of you on Zoom or virtually, but it's so nice to physically be in a space with you. I just wanted to remind you, I do have this funding. This is what I'm doing. I'm really excited. I'll be in Hamilton Public Schools hanging out with 7th graders this coming fall, but I still have time in my schedule to support your programs in any capacity that I can.
All right, anyone? Okay, we're seeing people drop off online. We appreciate that. I need the jacket for my outfit. Oh my gosh. And that kind of reminded me of something that's going on this summer. Just to report back on some of the things that we've been doing. This Saturday, we actually attended a very long youth summit with our tobacco-free youth, and that was at I Play America in Freehold. We had 5 students come with us, and it was very encouraging to see them planning and talking about some of the outreach that they've been doing. If anybody sees my nails, I'll show you later. They're all lung related. If you know youth that want to be involved, please let us know. We're always looking for members of our youth coalition. My daughter's getting older, so we need people to help replace her when she leaves. Another thing with families, this fall, we will be launching our Strengthening Families program. We'll be working with the prosecutor's office as well as SACS. But if you know of families that are in crisis that could use a program to learn how to communicate a little bit better, to enhance those protective factors, to maybe break some of those ACEs, some of those things that are going on in families, please let us know. We'd love to have them as part of our group. That is a very intensive program. It's 7 sessions. We're going to start it in October so that we can end right before the November holidays. That is in the works right now. It will be held here at this location. So if
We're
you
also
know of
working on
others.
incentives as well for the families. So if y'all think of anything that these families could use, whether it's an I Play America trip or Six Flags season pass, whatever that looks like, if you have any ideas, please pass them along, because we want to give families incentive to attend, but we also want to give them a goal in mind so that they can work towards something.
Yeah. When we first launched the program, weeds were really big right then, and Kathy was in line every single day collecting a bunch of weeds, and it was fantastic because the kids could get excited, the parents were relieved. We don't have anything like that right now, so we're trying to figure out, what the next big package can be. So yeah, the next game system. Someone have a comment? Yes.
Is there still, I think before, didn't you have to have some kind of military involvement?
No, that is gone for us now.
Okay.
This is a new funding from the state to just offer strengthening families to the community at large. So it does not involve, that's a great question, does not involve military involvement anymore. We would like to focus on those in family court who might need it earlier, family court who might need it as part of their program or their service. But we, all families in crisis. Just to remind you, we still do a bunch of different programs. We go out to schools, we talk on different substances. There's a lot that we're worried about right now. If you haven't had one, there's a street drug guide in the back that you're welcome to take with you. It had stuff in there that I hadn't even heard of. For all of y'all who know how much we research, that was kind of shocking to us.
And if y'all are looking for any meetings or anything like that to get more involved, if you look on the back of the pamphlet, there are the QR codes to the meetings that we have weekly, monthly, and so on and so forth.
The council currently sponsors 2 all recovery meetings. They are fantastic. One is on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. That's run by our very own David Camp. And then we have a lunchtime meeting at noon on Thursday that is run by our very own Adrian Petta. So as I said, they're all recovery. So 16 and up. It's a good place to feel supported. I believe one thing they say is that they're not religiously based, but they're community based. So that is a resource. And then of course we have resources to all other places. As is, Camille.
Just to let everybody know, a new Al-Anon meeting has started on Thursday night at 7:30 at Congregation Bethlehem in Princeton Junction. So everybody is welcome to come to the meeting at 7:30 on Thursday nights.
Great. Thank you so much for letting us know. And now for our favorite part of PCMC, talk amongst yourselves, network, see how we can know each other. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh,
I'll take this opportunity to, we're having project graduation at Robert Piper on June 21st. We need about 50 volunteers. We have shifts 11 to 5, and we have people from 11 to 2:30. We have 25 people signed up. We have only 11 from 2:30 to 5. Anyone interested in please signing up?
that's AM, by the way.
It's AM. AM. I always check that.
You know, part of the
Yes.
It's a great program. If you haven't driven by Lawrence High
Thanks,
School, I would
everyone.
advise
We'll
it.
see you later.
They have a simulation right now of drunk driving. Pleasant graduation is a lot.